Friends, I am doing this video to let you know that Francis, who claims to be Pope, is not the real Pope. Benedict XVI is still the Pope. He did not validly resign. He was threatened. They threatened to take his life. The St. Gallen Mafia, a group of left-wing Marxist, homosexual cardinals and bishops who have made it a point to point out who is going to be the next pope. They did not want Benedict to get in 2005. And so they formed this group that met once or twice a year in this small city in Switzerland called St. Gallen. And they formed this group to lobby against Pope Benedict, who was not a pope yet, who was the leading contender to be pope, and to put in their own man, whom they had chosen, Jorge Bergoglio, who was a Marxist homosexual like they were, modernist. In fact, Pope, so-called Pope Francis, does not believe in the real Christian God. He believes God is a force in the universe, like he's as Father Kramer, Father Paul Kramer says, he's a pantheist. He believes in a mixture of pantheism and deism, but not the real Christian God, not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not the God, the Father of Jesus Christ, his only Son. Pope Francis was eventually put in because they threatened Benedict's life, and he partially resigned, but not fully, so his resignation is invalid. He only resigned the administrative part of the papacy, but he kept the Munus, which is the Latin word for the office. He still is like the prayerful part of the papacy. That's why he's dressed in white. That's why he wears the papal ring. That's why he goes by the name of Benedict XVI. And he actually thought that some cardinals and bishops would side with him when they noticed he made mistakes in his resignation. It's an invalid resignation. It was deliberately done that way. He was hoping that a whole bunch of cardinals and bishops would rally to him, but nothing happened. He was left with no support. And so he's now living in the Vatican, but a mainly retired life, but still is the Pope. This is a big fraud. As I said in one of my previous videos, St. Francis of Assisi predicted, he gave a prophecy way back in the 1200s that there would come a canonically elected Pope who would not be Pope, because there's something invalid in his election. Namely, Benedict is still the Pope. And so Francis is guilty of so many heresies that there are too many to enumerate. He constantly is blaspheming, and I do not say this lightly. He said that Jesus failed in his death on the cross. Well, Jesus didn't fail. He actually, through his death and passion, saved the world. It was a victory. And he's saying that Jesus probably had to ask forgiveness from his parents for leaving them when they were in Jerusalem when he was 12 years old. But Jesus is God. And Jesus could not ask for forgiveness. That's impossible. And Jesus could not abandon his putative father, St. Joseph, and his real mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary. And Francis goes on to say, you don't need Christ to be saved. Another heresy, that you can be an atheist and you can be saved. All you have to do is good works. This is a total heresy. That homosexuals are made by God that way, and they can be saved too, as long as they're of goodwill. And Francis actually says, and sometimes contradicts himself, says there is no hell. And so this is totally false. Hell is real. This was shown to the children at Fatima. This is the first secret of the 3 secrets of Fatima. Francis believes that other religions are willed by God, that all religions are willed by God. This is heresy. There's only one church founded by Jesus Christ, and it's the Roman Catholic Church, outside of which there is no salvation. That's a doctrine, a dogma of the Catholic Church that can never be changed. There's only one true church. There's only one way to God, that is through Jesus Christ, who is our Savior, our Redeemer. There's no other way. All the other religions are false, including the Baptists, all the different Protestant denominations. The Jewish faith is no longer valid. It was at one time, but it no longer is valid. All must come to Jesus Christ. All must convert to the Catholic Church. And Francis goes on with, now he's planning this synod that will be held very soon in October, where he's hoping to install married clergy, to allow married clergy, and even to allow women priests. This guy is an arch heretic. You might as well call him an atheist, because he doesn't believe in a real personal God who is the creator of everything. He even blasphemed God by saying that God doesn't have a magic wand, that he can create anything out of nothing, that this is superstition. Imagine that. That's sheer blasphemy. I mean, the guy is a real blasphemer. He's a pervert. He's a homosexual. And he appoints homosexual cardinals and bishops. Uh, so he's very evil. Um, so I got to point this out that repeating Saint or Pope Benedict did not validly resign. He knew he was not validly resigning, and so by that very fact, Francis is not a valid pope. Therefore, he's an anti-pope, and he's probably the anti-pope of history. There's never been anyone like Francis, so perverted, so evil, and so destructive of the Catholic Church. Yeah, St. Francis actually said he will seemingly destroy the Catholic Church. Let's hope that we do not have to go underground like the first Christians um, who lived in the catacombs. Let's pray that we do not have to go back to the catacombs. That situation is that serious. I suspect there will be a real confrontation between the real loyal cardinals and bishops and Francis, and I put that in quotation marks, this coming synod in October. So let's just see. We'll wait and pray. In the meantime, we have to spell it out very clearly. Francis is an anti-pope. He was never a real pope because Benedict did not resign properly and had no intention of resigning properly. Apparently, even some of the German cardinals and bishops said they would break away from the church if he didn't resign. And I remember that I believe it was the Cardinal Archbishop of Palermo, Italy, who was in China visiting there. And he, in 2012, a full year before the resignation of Pope Benedict, that there was a threat to Pope Benedict's life, that he had 1 year to live. And this was like in February 2012, I believe. So anyway, let's go forward and tell the truth. We have only one Pope, that is Pope Benedict XVI. Francis is an invalid pope. Never was a pope. God bless you all, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye for now. God bless.